Our assassin is given a new assignment. A smuggler named Durbin has been caught and will soon be magically interrogated by a paladin. This must not happen, and the hit should not look suspicious lest the paladin investigate the death. He starts his assignment by getting a room at the sea shanty, a local inn. He rolls some candles flat into sheets before leaving and visiting the local brothel called the Mermaid's Kiss, where he makes contact with some of the local thieves and gathers some information about the area and the people who hold keys to the dungeon. He learns that Grace, the captain of the dock guard, is bumping heads with the cleric, Reginald Silver, about running the docks, and Portia Moore is the harbour master, a single lady who lives nearby, and he also gets a map of the dungeons. He then heads over to the dockmaster's house and uses Sophie to lure her son out of the house. With the child distracted by the cat, he sneaks into the house and examines the lock on the door and practices picking it before leaving and saving Sophie from the attentions of the 4-year-old. He returns once darkness has fallen, breaks in, makes a mould of the dungeon key on his wax sheets, and returns back to his room. Using the mould, he finds the right set of lockpicks he would need for the lock. The next day, he buys some fancy silk rope and also some old used rope. Next, he checks in with Ripley, his watcher, and runs his plan by her, and puts the last step of his plan into action by going fishing near the guard barracks so he can listen to their voices and names. While fishing, Reginald Silver shows up, and they exchange some pleasantries, giving our assassin some time to study his voice and speaking pattern. And as night falls, he returns to his room one more time to prepare to execute his plan. The first phase of which is getting pretend drunk and arrested for a fray, which goes off without a hitch. Once he finds himself in the drunk tank, he quickly escapes from his cell, and he starts his search for his mark through the dark dungeon. He finds his target with no trouble and garrots the hapless smuggler before he even knows what's happening. He stages the body to make it look like a suicide. With his dark deed done, he heads back to his cell. The next morning he gets tossed back onto the streets with the rest of the drunks, and he returns to the sea shanty. He settles up his tab and goes to see his watcher to confirm the deed is done. She seems slightly concerned about the kill, but is satisfied nonetheless. She also gives out the next target, none other than Reginald Silver, the cleric. Will there be any repercussions from the Durbin job? How long will our assassin remain in Malchus's favour? How easy will the cleric job be? Let's find out now on Assassin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Assassin. Rob, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. So like I said, Neal, I think our audience is really just too intelligent, good-looking to fall for mindless flattery. Oh, they're here. Hi, hi, everyone. Welcome
to Assassin. Yeah, we can just forget about what we were saying before the show. How's your week been since we last saw you, Rob? Life?
It's been one of those weeks. Interesting, but thanks to clinical confidentiality, not interesting at all.
I get that a lot from my wife, who's doing clinical counseling, or in school for it, and lots of like, what, sweetie? Nothing.
You wouldn't believe the day I had. What happened? Nothing.
Nothing happened at all. Ever. I certainly didn't learn something interesting about a person I know. No, that's never happened. No. So, are you ready to assassinate someone today?
I'm always ready to. even outside the context of this game. It's just good to be prepared.
Yeah, it's just good to be prepared. That Fallout style future is always ever present and ever lurking, or the danger of it is. You should always be ready for the whatever's going to take.
Absolutely.
So we are going to start off today back in that bar taverny area, up halfway up the cliffside that we saw last episode. That is where you are meeting Ripley, your watcher, and your mission assigner person.
Mm-hmm.
So the two of you are meeting up there in the tavern. She's not dressed as a bard anymore. This time she's dressed as a simple peddler of wares who's taken a break after hawking everything that she can in the city streets and is now resting at a bar with a beautiful view of the outside. Bar's not too terribly crowded. It's maybe 20% full. The two of you just happen to be sitting at a table without anyone else at it. A great view of the windows. Out.
Yeah, I imagine. Get up here. Is this bar? Is it an inn too, or just a tavern?
It is an inn. There are a few inn rooms here, not many. Like 8 or something. And they're a little bit pricey since it's got it's the nice bar with the nice view. The rates here are a little bit higher, but that doesn't necessarily prohibit them from. So I don't actually have a Ripley token. I'll find one, but you two are sitting right where you are on the map, hanging out. She looks over to you and says, good morning, man of the island.
Say good morning, and I continue to pet Sophie.
I've got a simple secret, says for you with a knowing look and a double meaning words.
Well, I'd be curious to find out about such a simple thing.
There is a man named Reginald Silver, the most noble of clerics, and he has made his home down by the docks. Or did you know that already?
I've had words with him.
Oh, well, maybe this isn't such a simple secret after all. He's been down there cleaning them up and setting things in order. You know how those clerics of Astaire, god of law and order, like to do. And it seems that all the smuggling down on the docks has come to a grinding halt, and no imports, she says, kind of giving a quick glance around to make sure no one else is listening, or exports can be sent or received. I hear they've really been cracking down on the, specifically the smuggling of toxins, venoms, poisons, and other potent potables.
Well, then definitely the Thieves Guild must be concerned about that.
She gives a half-hearted shrug. Suppose it's really none of my business, if they're being affected or not.
Well, it's just good to know that such a nefarious group is being hindered in their, let's say, business.
Yeah. It's doubly effective, too, because those potables are, they're a little delicate, some of them. They lose their potency if they sit around for too long, or if the temperature gets too high, and really moving them by ship is the only reasonable means of getting them to market in time for them to still be effective.
Yes, well, like I said, that's bad news for the Thieves.
tell me, you're familiar with the viewpoint of Astaire, the god of law and order, right?
I kind of thought dancing was in there somewhere too, but a bit.
Well, Astaire is the one who believes that the best thing for people in life is to have a framework within which they can thrive. Structure and organization paves the way for greatness, and preservation of order is paramount to success. It's really such a wonderful and interesting idea, so opposed to his brother and counterpart, Malchus, god of chaos. You know, those people believe that order breeds predictability and complacency creates weakness.
Well, what I find is when people create order, they usually mean an order that benefits themselves and puts people they dislike or find distasteful or disagree with lower down the order and blame it on them. I mean, the order is impartial.
Is that why you're here? You feel that higher-ups in the social order have caused problems for you?
I just see that claims of those who impose order and their actual intent are often quite at variance. And feel that those making those claims and imposing that order could stand to feel a bit of what people further down the line feel.
He nods her head a few times and stares out over the ocean, before coming back into the conversation, saying, "So anyway, Reginald doesn't see things the way that you do, or the way I do. He's of the other mindset. He joined the clergy somewhere in his mid-20s, straight from his noble family ranks, and served as an acolyte for about 5 years before becoming a full cleric and joining the Order of Astaire, where he's been, I don't know, maybe a decade now? 38 days. 5'7", 158 pounds, big plate armor, shield, staff with a scepter of light. Can't miss him.
Yes,
sorry.
I just said yes. We had lunch.
Good. And that information that she's giving you has got another set of, I wouldn't quite say double information, but in this world, first level clerics generally are acolytes and kind of generalist, and it's when you hit your second level that you find your particular calling. I mean, some people come in with a calling at the ground level, but most people sort of join the clergy and then find their own person. So by saying that he was an acolyte for 5 years and has been a full cleric for some time after that, lets you know that he's at least second level. And if you want to try and do some math and figure out how long he's been a cleric for, maybe you can get some vague notion of what level, but kind of up to judgment. So our mission for today will be simple and secret. He's not going to know it's coming, but he can't know. No one can know that it's happening. He's at least second level, and I think that's all the information you know about him right now. Other than, of course, what he looks like and where he has lunch every day, which you found out last week.
Mm-hmm. Which may be all I need to know. We'll have to find out. It's better to have more information than less.
Wow. So, you guys sit for a little while longer. Is there anything else you wanted to ask her?
No, I've got... aside from any resources for this.
She will produce another mixed bag of coins. This one with 5,000 copper. value of 5,000 copper, but, you know, mix of gold and silver and copper. Keep it variable. And kind of sets that down at on the bench between the two of you while you guys look off into the open waters.
All right, I will light of hand that up. And once our business seems to be concluded, I'll say, well, probably best I secure a room before, you know, any other travelers come by and take them all.
Be a good idea. We've got time on this one, she says, glancing about quickly. Got a score of days to take care of it. Nothing too pressing.
Yes, that gives plenty of time to do it. Perhaps I could learn a profession, maybe construction.
My, that seems like a handy trait.
Yes, it'd be good to know how to build things, how things are held together, what keeps them from falling apart.
Well,
You'd be surprised what one frayed rope can do to an otherwise sturdy-seeming construction.
there's a reason we call ourselves the architects, says, as she gets up and makes for the front door.
All right.
And you are left to your own devices. You've got 20 days to make it happen, so let's see how it goes.
All right. I'm going to first... I'm going to go up to the bartender here, holding on to Sophie,
Mm-hmm.
and just petting Sophie. Bartender, how much is a room here? Private one.
Gold piece a night.
That's pretty steep. What do I get for that? Is there a meal involved or more?
Yes, sir. Breakfast and dessert. Well, evening dessert, a couple of beers, a couple of pints, and morning breakfast. And the best damn view from the common room in the world.
I can't argue with that.
Mm-hmm. We do have just a couple rooms with windows that overlook the ocean as well, or overlook the canals as well, if you'd like those, but they're triple rate.
Ooh. I was going to be splurging just to get the at a gold piece. I can't afford triple.
Well, you can't afford the gold, though.
Yes.
Oh, come on in.
Okay. Once I get up to my room,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to set Sophie down. I'm going to stow my my bow and rapier. I am going to get a bowl of water. And it's time to shave my goatee since it's full of sea smell around this town.
Oh, no.
Well, it'll grow back.
The whole thing? Or are you just going to do the bottom? Are you going to leave, like, the mustache? Or are you just going to whole thing down?
I have to do the whole thing down here since everybody knows me since I already left. If I suddenly show up again and everyone's like, "Thought you were leaving."
Yeah.
Hey, weren't you hanging around here before?
All right.
Like I said, it grows back. I could be a different person. I could be the same person who's back in town later.
As a matter of curiosity, how quickly does your character's goatee grow in? Is that artwork we have of him like a month of growth? 3 months of growth? A week?
I don't know. I mean, I can get one going in 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how lazy I am. Stylish. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Stylish. Got it. Okay. So you shave it down. Not a problem.
yeah, I mean, the part of the reason to have it was so that people would focus on that, and then when he needs to disguise himself, just shaving it off would be enough that. Because I figured a lot of people, they focus on a detail,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they remember. I was just noticing in the office where I've been working since last September, I noticed this big painting of a flower, and I was like, until this moment, even though I've been through this office, I don't know how many times, if you'd asked me what painting there was in there, I would have said, painting? So the goatee draws attention.
Mm-hmm.
Take that away, and the other features might not be so memorable.
Well, it's a quick thing, and the goatee's gone. Long live the goatee. And now you find yourself up in that tavern with plenty of time on your hands.
And I am going to change up my outfit here. I'll wear something. I'll find my oldest, most raggedy clothes that I've got.
Find your oldest, raggedy, most revealing clothes, and are ready to head down to the docks, maybe? Maybe not?
Almost. I take the satchel of now 10 copper pieces from around my neck and lay the coins out on the table. Finger them a bit, weigh each one, select one, roll it around a bit. Say, Alexandra. I'll put the rest back in their bag. I'll flip that one a couple of times, and then I'll tuck it. I'll tuck that one into the bag too.
Alexander is tucked away safely. Sophie is meowing aimlessly at a wall.
So, Sophie, we'll just have to see about getting you some more fish. Luckily, I know where that can be. They can be found. Yes, the local kids never had it so good. Well, I must be back later. And time to head down to the docks.
Okay. Down you go and find yourself right on the docks. It is a beautiful, bright, sun-shining day down here. Skies are clear, the winds are quite still, terrible for shipping, wonderful for just walking around and enjoying yourself.
Okay. And I just have one dagger hidden as far as weapons. I don't imagine I'll need...
No short bow, no rapier at your side.
Just the dagger. Just...
No pocket ballista. Do you really need it on this mission?
I might want to frame the dwarves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, alright, we got the pocket ballista, but the rapier and the short bow are home.
Yes.
Good.
Well, Neal, I think it's about time for our first notice from our new sponsor for today.
We have a new sponsor?
Of course, Neal being coy. Of course we do. Special for today, for the 4th of July, M80s. M80s. The reason there's a non-zero number of Americans who can count to 10 today, but won't be able to count to 10 tomorrow.
Yes, do be careful with your fireworks today, everyone. I mean, you should always be careful with your fireworks, but, like, double down on it today, please. God. So glad that we've got an M80 sponsorship. I haven't played with those since I was a small child, and I shouldn't have been allowed to play with those when I was a small child, but...
You mean using them responsibly, Neal?
Sure, yeah. If that's what you call letting 10-year-olds in Texas throw M80s around.
All right, Texas, that makes sense. There was a 4th of July where my whole clan gathered up in at a motel in Oregon because it was all the city California folk and the rural Oregon folk all gathered there, and you could definitely tell because there were so many of us. We basically took over this whole motel, so we felt we could on this 4th of July just kind of take over the parking lot to make our own fireworks display with just an absurd amount of fireworks that have been brought in by all the Oregonians. And you could tell the difference because all us Californians were like holding his like, no, kids, you want to be back like at least 20 feet because then you can see the entire firework thing. Yeah, back here. And the Oregonians are like, Tyler, that one fell over. Why don't you? It's got a few seconds left of the fuse. Why don't you run over and put it back up before it goes on? It's just, we're like,
oh, it's so dangerous.
We're just all as Californians, just like I want to stop them, but their dad's telling them to do it.
Oh, yeah. Everywhere I've ever lived has had like severe fire hazards. Like it's always been dry, deserty, flammable places, and so I've never, except for that one summer I spent in Texas, I've never been in a place to actually be able to play with fireworks.
I kind of feel like Texas is dry and brush fiery, but they would stop fireworks for that reason.
Yeah, and I was visiting with friends, and they had like a lake house with everything was very green there. I don't know if that's because they watered it constantly or it just happened to be a green part of Texas. But it was always green and wet and everything.
I wonder if like the entire European part of the audience is like, the heck are they talking about with M80s and all this stuff?
Maybe. But I guess they'll just have to figure it out. Oh. It's too much culture to catch them up on. Culture.
Yes. Well, we're talking about something you're reveling about having it in Texas. So I think they can deduce that an M80 is some sort of weapon or explosive.
Yeah, not to be confused with like an M1 or an M16. This isn't a really big gun. It's a very small explosive. Fireworks is what we like to call them, but they're really just small bombs that you give children to play with.
Well, yeah, that's basically part. That brings us to our second endorsement for M80s. M80s, the largest amount of explosive you can freely distribute without being arrested for aiding and abetting terrorists.
That is an interesting take on it. You know, I've never really thought of fireworks as just explosives that you hand around, but that's really what they are.
Yeah, it's just an amount of explosives we've decided is safe to give to kids.
All right.
It's about freedom, people. If you can't see the connection between giving explosives to children and freedom, then nothing I can say is going to make it make sense to you if you just can't see it yourself.
I mean, we say that jokingly, but there's a certain amount of truth to that. A certain amount of... Oh. Anyway. Assassin, Docs, you're here somewhere. Let me give you a token to move around if you need it. If you don't need it, you don't have to move it. Whatever. So you're down here on the docks, beautiful sun-shining day. There's ships out in the canals, just kind of bobbing up and down in the little bit of waves that are out there. Once again, there are a pair of guards that are walking the city streets here, along the docks. Same sort of guards that you saw last session, I should say. They just kind of move in their pair, walking down the docks.
Let's see, which was the guards station?
That would be over,
that over here.
Red one to your right, to the east.
Okay. So, I am gonna go. Well, I'm not gonna buy the fish before I take care of my tasks. So, first stop is what was it? The Mermaid's Rest.
Mermaid's Kiss?
Mermaid's Kiss. Mermaid's Rest is from Baldur's Gate. I don't know. Alright. So I'll head over to the Mermaid's Kiss. I will just get something to drink. Just spend a little time sitting around. Making conversation with sailors, with locals, and I'm starting to thread into the conversation, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes into a conversation with somebody about other things. Like, there was this fellow was like dressed to storm a castle or something, wandering around the docks, and started telling me something about a ladder or a stair or something. What's going on there? Is he a crazy person?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Like grappling hook and rope and like swords and like ready to storm a castle, or what do you mean?
He was like fully dressed like a knight, just armor, and I don't know. He just looked like he was about to attack something. With all his armor and weapons and things.
You mean the Reginald Silver? The cleric?
I don't know. Does he look like he's a knight? Talk about stairs or something?
Astair, the god. The god of law and order. One of the big 7.
Oh.
The big 4 even. Come on, you know who Astair is.
I don't know. I never counted the gods. There's 7?
No, there's like, 36 or 26, but you got the big 7. Astair, Flumbra, Malchus, Martha, Nadinus, Tempus, Verasi. Kid, did you Melder not teach nothing? Look.
Do they move up the brackets or something, or is what makes them the
No. There's 4 major gods, right? We got Astair, god of law and order. How the hell do you not know this stuff? It's common knowledge. Every kid knows that. Astair, god of law and order.
I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to have some background exposition for the audience here.
There's his sister, Verasi, goddess of death. She's a mean one. And then their brother, Malchus, the god of chaos and change. And then their other sister, Martha, the goddess of life. Right? So they're the big 4. They sit one in each of the seasons, hanging out. And then Nadinus sits below the world, holding the staff of the world up. She's the goddess of nature, as you should know. And above the world is Tempos, the god of fate and time. And he spins the staff that Nadinus is holding up, which turns the world, which is why, the constellations move, right? And then there's Flumbra.
So he's spinning whose staff?
The staff that supports the world. The staff that holds up the world. The world, the staff, the elemental planes, the gods, the constellation. You're pulling my leg, right?
He's spinning his own staff.
Is this a prank? Are you scrying on me right now? Is there like a scrying orb somewhere? What's going on? Anyway, and then there's Falumbra, right? The goddess of spirits. She gives up a part of herself every time something is with a soul is born and we all return to her, personified by the moon. You know?
That sounds painful.
Well, then I'm not even gonna bother launching into the other 20-some gods in there. It just sounds like it would be too complicated.
Well, it sounds like I've probably heard enough to get an introduction to the religious environment of this world that would be enough just to give a person who didn't know any of this at all a little understanding of what's going on.
Well, that's good. I'm glad I was able to help in some way, shape, or form.
Yes. Well, thank you. Yeah,
See,
so what's his deal?
Well, a stairs deal or... No, you're Reginald's deal. Silver?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, High Castle docks have been notorious for their,
Fish?
civvy nature. You know, a lot of things leak through them. And a couple weeks ago...
So they need to be retired.
A couple weeks ago, someone tried to murder a guardsman down here, and I guess that was the last straw. Reginald came on down. Sorry. Lord Reginald Silver, Cleric of Astaire, says rolling his eyes, came down with a self-expressed mission to clean up the docks and make it a safe place where there could be no more crime or smuggling or murder or anything like that. And kind of thought he was just full of hot air, but damn if this place hasn't cleaned up. You know, the number of bar fights has dropped by 90%. Dungeons used to be full of people in the drunk tanks every night. Now, 2 or 3 at most. He's done a remarkable job out here. He's also committed to it. He rented out a small shack that used to be an office or something, and literally lives down here now. I don't even know if he ever goes back up into the city. He's committed 100% to the cause, and it's showing real improvement.
Down here, I didn't see any place around here that looks like a noble would want to live here.
No, maybe he didn't put on those robes just for show. Maybe it's not, just an act.
Where's a noble living around here? There's nothing here that I would.
You wouldn't believe. It's not. It's like a 15 by 15 foot hut. It's not the sort of establishment a noble you would expect to live in. But he's a man of the cloth now, and he's a good guy. You know, he's really, really doing a good job and living the frugal life. And I mean, sure, he's got a seaside view, but he's also living in a tiny hut down by the docks full of rowdy sailors and working all day, every day, except for lunch. And dinner, and breakfast, and, afternoon tea, and sleeping. But you know what I mean. It's good.
You said his family name is Silver. How did they get that? Do they, own silver mines, or...?
Yeah, generations back they were big into the silver mines. I think at this point they own a bunch, a little bit to the north of here. What's that area called? Like in the Hemderkos Hills, That's where most of their silver is, but I think with their expertise, they're probably got a hand involved in every single silver mine in the country, in the kingdom. Even if they're not directly owning it, their experience and knowledge with it goes back generations.
They made their wealth in silver. Well, I guess we all can't be lucky enough to discover silver mines and get involved in them.
He gives a shrug. I don't know. I've never seen a silver mine before. In fact, I've never seen the inside of a mine ever. Have you?
I don't know. I hear they're Here they're not so good.
You
Tough
tell.
life, what I hear. Well, I don't know. You work without seeing the sun. You go in before the sun's up. Not out till the sun's down. Stars as close as you can be to a bright day.
I guess that could be kind of tough, never seeing the sun. But it's probably worth it. I mean, you know, you're working a silver mine. You gotta be wealthy.
Do you? I think it's the person who owns the mine.
I mean, yeah, but if you're working in a silver mine, you're probably paid better than someone working in a coal mine, right?
Are you paid?
He looks at you as if he's all of a sudden unsure of many things he's taken for granted his whole life. Wouldn't you be paid? I mean, I guess if you're a captured soldier, thrown into chains and enslaved, you wouldn't be paid, but that's, you know, that's your own fault for being a soldier, being captured.
Yeah, that's true. Those miners, whatever put them into the mines is probably their own fault. They must have done something to get thrown down there into the mines, working without sunlight.
Yeah. Working in a coal mine. Going down, down, down.
Yeah, well, thank you for the information.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the conversation in a different direction. I'll end up debating with him the existence of dragons. I'm going to say they don't really exist, just to give something so ridiculous that that's the part of the conversation he remembers instead of the hysterical.
First you pretend you don't know the... Well, of course not. But I haven't seen any of the gods yet. I know they still exist.
So maybe the dragons are like the gods. You never see them anywhere, and people just assume they exist.
Look, we all know there is a gold dragon living in Stormscale Lake right near Stromheim. I mean, it's like 200, 300 miles from here.
You've seen it.
Well, I haven't seen it because I've lived in High Castle my whole life, but...
Who's seen it? Who's seen it?
No, okay, none of us have seen it, but come on, we don't live in Stromheim. But I got a cousin, and he went to Stromheim once, and while he was there, he met this this local girl, and she says that her dad once was fishing down by Stormscale Lake and saw the dragon show up out of nowhere. So I got an eyewitness who's definitely seen it, and, I mean, come on, the queen takes counsel with the dragon, and her family, her parents did, and for generations back they've been
You've seen that happen. You have. You know people who've seen the queen meet with his dragon.
I ain't never seen anyone mine gold, but I know that gold miners exist.
Because you've seen gold.
She's just like, what? Dragons don't exist, huh?
I could just say that there's a three that I happen to know that there's a three-headed troll in Confluence that sings operas. He sings all three parts and then he does the chorus. Now
I know you're pulling my leg, but I want to see that act.
I do too. Now you've never seen that, but you've never seen the dragon either, and you believe in it.
It's because there's a bunch of them. They're all over the place. They have names. People, look, Nixium is the gold one, and there's the Mist Dragon way over by Rockwave or Redport. There's like a town over there somewhere, a city.
The three-headed trolls. Each of their heads has a name. There's Larius and Ovius and Curly Gavilis.
All right, but you got to admit that at least Zorthis exists, right? Because they named a whole river after her.
Zorthis?
Yeah.
If I wanted to make a name that everyone would know it was fake, Z is definitely the letter I would
It
start.
starts with an X,
Zorthis?
my friend. XOR, Zorthis.
Oh, then you know it's fake.
What, Xavier doesn't exist either? Is he not a real person?
Have you ever met someone named Xavier?
My brother's named Xavier. You watch your tongue now.
Oh, I didn't know.
See? So
Then
dragons
maybe-
do exist.
Well, I mean, maybe your brother exists. I'm going to take your word for it. You're a witness. You've seen him. Have you ever seen the Zorthis?
No, because she hides in the overgrowth.
Oh, she hides.
Well, she doesn't have any more wings anymore.
Gigantic dragon the size of a castle. But, is she behind that tree? Maybe behind that sheep over there.
Look, I couldn't expect a non-traveled, non-educated person like yourself to really understand. Clearly, you don't know anything about the overgrowth because it's filled with giant trees. That's why they call it the overgrowth, man. It's because it's overgrown. And Zorthis Snag is the river they named after her, next to Valara, in Matava, in the south. Get a load of this guy. He doesn't believe in dragons. Wait till one burns down his house. Okay, clearly you must have heard...
Has that happened to you?
Please, I don't own any property.
Have you ever known someone whose house got burned down by a dragon?
No, but that's because Nixium's been protecting us all here. Look, why don't you head over to Mystria and deal with Scoria over there, huh? She's taken over the entire kingdom of
So is
Mystria.
there some rule that every dragon's name has got to end with an A or something here?
Zorthis doesn't end in an A, that ends with an S.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Hydroxys ends in an S. Nixium ends in an M. Are there any other... Nixium? Nixium?
Nixum? I don't know. That sounds like a crook.
She is not a crook. She's a beautiful gold dragon that's been watching over Eridon for generations. Uses her influence to steer the country towards goodness.
So we can look outside and we're like, oh, whoop, there she is, looking down on us.
All right. You know what? But you've heard of Scoria, right? The Scourge of Mystria has conquered the entire kingdom, and they all pay tribute to her, running them into financial ruin. The only mithril mine in the world is basically controlled by a red dragon. Production's been altered.
So basically, somebody's extorting a large group of people.
A dragon,
You
big,
sure this is the thieves' guild?
flying red dragon runs the kingdom now.
Oh, you've seen this one.
You know, I can't.
But you've seen this is a port.
You know what? I know who the
Lots of
three-headed
things.
troll is. It's you. You're the three-headed troll. And he slams down his drink and storms off angrily.
I don't know. If I didn't know better, I'd say that guy was off to popularize the use of troll as a verb instead of a noun. All right, so definitely he's not thinking about my questions about Astaire anymore.
Oh no, he's boiling with rage over your ridiculous claims that dragons don't exist. It's just insane. It's insane. They totally exist.
It's like Slash. Slash. Everybody knows who Slash is.
Who's Slash?
Guitarist?
Oh, okay.
But have you ever actually seen him?
No. I
But
also
we all
can't even remember
know-
what band he's from.
Interesting. And yet we're all sure he exists. But no one's ever seen him.
I'm sure someone has seen him. I trust that someone has seen him.
Uh-huh. You trust that someone has seen him.
Otherwise, how would we know his name? Huh? How would we know about him if he didn't actually exist?
When you think white
got
whale,
it.
you think what name?
Ahab.
So he exists then. Ahab was a real person.
You know what, Rob? I just can't deal with you today. I haven't finished my coffee yet. Just can't deal with it.
Is that what's in that jar? I thought you were like drinking some kind of spoiled preserves.
No. It's really hot here in Boulder. It's like in the 80s and 90s all summer. So I tend to make coffee at night and put it in a jar and throw it in the fridge. So that way it's cold coffee by morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, the way around that I've found is to live in Santa Barbara where the weather is beautifully temperate all the fucking time.
Well, yeah. I would love to live in Santa Barbara once more. We all would. But it's not always an option. There's a... Yeah. We're here in Colorado for school. Otherwise, I would be happy to be in Santa Barbara. Perfect temperature all year round, people. Those of you that don't know Santa Barbara, it's like...
Yes.
It's amazing. I love that place.
It's just good zoning laws.
Good zoning laws. That's a good...
Yeah, they just zoned for the temperature. And
it's under its entire, what's that spell? Lehman's tiny hut. It's Lehman's tiny hut over the whole town. Temperature's always right in the perfect range.
Exactly. It's just well written zoning laws because you can go just a short distance away. There's Lompoc, which sucks.
Bakersfield, L.A. Right. Where crap and diarrhea.
Yeah, but the temperature, Santa Barbara, just always beautiful. Anyway.
That's enough. Making me miss my hometown.
Yes. This brings us to our next sponsor, the Santa Barbara Tourism Board.
Come on down to sunny
Santa Barbara Tourism. There's no such thing as too many Germans in shorts and sandals walking around with cameras out.
Don't forget the parade of lights every year on the boats down by the water, and the fantastic fireworks shows that you can see from the mesa or down on the beach. And don't forget yearly wildfires. They'll threaten your homes, they'll threaten your lives, they'll threaten your animals. Come back next year for more.
Yearly, Neal. I think you're forgetting
Monthly.
the year we had 3.
Yeah. Now, with new and improved mudslides destroying properties since 2018. Okay.
Why watch the movie Day After Tomorrow when you're living it?
Okay. It's been about an hour. We've done absolutely nothing. We've gotten nowhere. We're going to take a break because we've been having a good time and it's about time for a break. When we come back, we might start the campaign or maybe not. We got 12 weeks. It'll be fine. We'll see you guys on the other side of our break. Bye-bye, everybody.